Yo, what up guys, and welcome back towards this new stream here on the channel. And on today's stream I will be talking about Bitcoin. I will be talking about the current fear we're having in the market, and there are some very interesting charts that potentially this crash that we got on the market is similar towards the pandemic crash we got back in 2020, because we're basically sitting on the same stages in fear. We're seeing the same volume spikes, and we're seeing the same type of fall towards the downside. And also very interesting, we're seeing the same amount of realized loss getting formed in the market. So this will be getting discussed here. And as well guys, on today's update, I will be talking about the complete revival plan on Terra Luna 2.0 here. What is currently going on here? And more importantly, is this a good coin to be investing in right now? What will be happening to the previous coin of Luna? And of course, it's still an ongoing vote right now. But I've been warning you guys to be very careful with buying Luna tokens right now, because I don't really agree that it is a very good revival plan at all here. And I'm not the only one here, because there are more people that don't really agree with me, like CZ. So guys, a lot of things to discuss on today's video, so let's jump right away in towards the content. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the fear currently in the market. You can see that we just smashed up an 8 on the fear and greed index. This is literally, and let me fix my camera for a little bit here, but this is literally all-time highs in terms of fear in the market. First of all, what does it mean? If there's high fear in the market, it usually does indicate us that it is, in general speaking, good, bottom signal, and that it is, generally speaking, a very low risk zone for accumulating Bitcoin. And of course, that the potential towards the upside is higher than the potential towards the downside from up this point. So fear and greed index touching the 8. And you know what is very interesting about this touch here is that while Bitcoin has not really been falling, the fear and greed index has been falling. So Bitcoin has been rising over the past hours, but at the same time we can see the fear and greed index has been declining today here. Pretty interesting if we're going to look back over time is that we're, first of all, in the last 3 months, this is the lowest point we've ever set. We've never set an 8 on the fear and greed index on the past 3 months here. And if we're going to look back at the year, we can see that we're right now forming a low not seen since August 2019 here. And of course, are we trading higher than August 2019? Yes, we are, because if we're going to look back here, August 2019, let me quickly look at this chart here. August 2019 was, of course, generally speaking, also a pretty interesting range for accumulating your Bitcoins at. But more importantly, I personally expect that we're seeing a similar correction like here on the pandemic crash here in March 2020, because out of nowhere there was a huge amount of fear getting kicked in here. And more importantly, look at this. This is basically how the pandemic behaved itself here, right? This is the chart from the pandemic where we were crashing. Of course, we saw also that capitulation, so many people were selling against a loss here, big red candles here, extreme fear in the market, but market climbed up relatively quickly back towards the upside again. So I decided to copy that chart and play it over the chart we're currently trading in. So first of all, what you can see, pretty interesting, right? Bitcoin is holding up pretty well. Out of nowhere, it fell down very hard, created big wicks on the lower side. And look at this. If we're going to compare these candles, we're today going to be seeing a little bit of an increasement if we're going to compare it directly towards the pandemic crash in 2020. But more importantly, also looking back here, guys, if we're going to look back at this chart, you can see as well that we're having similar volume spikes. So on the pandemic crash here, you saw big wicks on the lower side, first of all, and also high amounts of selling volume. Right now, what I'm expecting on this weekly candle for Bitcoin is basically, once again, high volume and probably as well a potential wick on the lower side, and that is already what we're currently creating, right? So there is extreme fear in the market, and it does look very similar like last time around, because we also got the word out from the Luna Guard Foundation that they literally sold off 80,000 Bitcoins. And there are some investors out there in the market where it did have an argue with, and they said, oh, but this Bitcoin correction was already priced in. No, I don't really think so. Because, sorry, this Bitcoin correction was already written. That's what they were saying. But that's a little bit ridiculous to say. And my camera has to really fix itself here, because it's really annoying how the color is so dark. But I don't care for this moment. But you know what's pretty interesting? Bitcoin was holding up pretty well against equities on the top side. But as soon as the Terra Luna Foundation it basically fell, Bitcoin fell down very quickly. That is basically the same as the pandemic crash. Was really someone expecting this? No, we weren't. And that is why it did came unexpected. And that is why it did done extra pain on the market, and that is also why we saw a huge spike in realized loss come towards the market. So once again, we're seeing many people, many investors selling against the loss. Let's put everything on the line, right? Many investors are selling their Bitcoins against a loss here, just like March 2020. Many investors are right now extremely panicking because we can clearly see it from the fear and greed index hitting all-time highs. The fear is at all-time highs in the market, and generally speaking, if fear is extremely high in the market, it does indicate a good buying opportunity. Is it necessarily the bottom? Is it necessarily the price that Bitcoin is going to be rising from? No, totally not. But what we do know is if the fear is kicking in the market, it generally tends to show us a good buying opportunity, of course. So do take this in consideration right away. At the same time, we can see that just like in the pandemic crash here, we're seeing a high accumulation trend score for Bitcoin. So what does it mean here? The accumulation trend score is basically an indicator that reflects the relatively size of entities that are getting accumulated by coins on chain in terms of their Bitcoin holdings. The scale of accumulation trend represents both the size of the entity balances and the amount of new coins getting acquired / sold over the last month here. So this is basically a clear signal that there's a lot of accumulation going on here. And just like the pandemic crash, guys, just look at this. Pandemic crash, Luna crash, because I will be calling this the Luna crash, because Bitcoin was holding up very well in the price section until the Terra Luna Guard Foundation dropped off 80,000 Bitcoins on a market sale. And that is currently why we're having high fear. That is currently why we're having this insane drop off. Some investors were saying, we are going to come down here, it is going to be happening. They were right. But what were they necessarily going to be right if Terra Luna was not here? That is not that's my whole point. They were right due to Terra Luna failing. And was this a thing that we were expecting? I mean, we could have been expecting it, because if we did more research, indeed, we could have seen that Terra Luna was holding 80,000 Bitcoins and that the company was a big Ponzi and that it was about to pop here. So could we have been seeing it? Yes. Was it a mistake? Yes. But was this correction happened due to the Federal Reserve, or did it purely happen due to Luna? And personally, I will give it the Luna. The benefit, I will definitely say Luna, due to everything what's going on here. So let me dive in towards the analysis on Bitcoin right now. And after that, I will be talking about Terra Luna 2.0 here, because that's even more ridiculous. And I still don't know why people are supporting Terra Luna right now, but I will be talking about it in a second from now on. So let's look at Bitcoin first of all. We can currently see we formed this beautiful inverse head and shoulders on the market. We broke the downtrend here. We flipped it back into support. You can see we did not even touch it once, twice, but 3 times in a row here. And we all 3 times bounced from it. I also announced that I was opening a small position here on Prime XPT. I am currently, like you can see, in a 0.1 Bitcoin profit. Not all too big here, but pretty decent that I got my entry in here. I will be trying to take a trade towards 35k, and of course, from off that point, I will be looking further on how I will be approaching the markets. But nevertheless, currently we're bouncing from it. Price target of this inverse head and shoulders is still trading on 35,000 US dollars. So we're still waiting for the big follow through getting created. At the same time, Bitcoin on the 4 hourly time frame is forming an symmetrical triangle, basically a typical bullish, a continuation pattern. And of course, if we're going to generally look at the market right now, Bitcoin came from a massive downtrend, forms a symmetrical triangle. What is the likeliest move to make right now here? Another breakdown and another continuation towards the downside. Do we necessarily have to be breaking down over here? No. What I will be waiting for is just clearly to see which direction we're going to be breaking towards. If we do break the top side of resistance, we're going to look for higher prices. If we do break down and break the support, we're going to look at lower prices. And of course, levels that I would love to accumulate new positions on Bitcoin is going to be on the following ranges. I will be looking to accumulate at the previous low on the 27.7k, because I personally think that the next drop off is going to be even getting bought up even quicker. Why? Is because Bitcoin saw a huge volume spike on that higher time frame, and that is showing that there is a lot of whale activity, because usually once the weekly time frame shows high volume, and Bitcoin has not seen so high volume for a very long time, right? Bitcoin has spiked its volume for the first time higher than the last time it basically went so high. It was, of course, all the way back in May 2021, so exactly a year ago. So that is pretty interesting to see right here, and that is why I'm currently thinking there is a lot of whale activity going on here. So if the market does decide to come down here, and especially this whale activity on ranges between 25k, I personally think that's pretty likely to occur, that we're going to get bought up again here. And also to take in consideration, institutions are underwater if Bitcoin is below 30k, so there's going to be a lot of accumulation by large players, by large entities. So that is just very important to take in consideration right now. So yeah, Bitcoin still consolidating. We're just going to be patiently wait where we're going to be breaking towards. But even though we're going to be breaking down, we've got a bullish and bearish price target. Of course, we could be aiming for 35k for a bullish breakout, also the price target of the inverse and shoulders, and of course 26.5k for a breakdown, depending when we are going to be breaking down here. Pretty interesting to look at right now here. Could be taking a trade both directions. If I'm trading short, I will be taking everything off the table on 27.7k, like I told you. Still looking at the Bitcoin longs, we are still seeing a massive increasement, currently 84,000 Bitcoins in long positions here. Like we do know here, they're currently stalling off. But these bitfinex wolves do know more than we know, guys. I've warned you several times before it, and will it happen again? Probably, yes. If the price action is going to rise once again from here on, guys, don't say I've not warned you, because bitfinex wolves are accumulating long positions, and generally speaking, historically speaking, if these bitfinex wolves are buying long positions, it does mean that it is a general good range for accumulating Bitcoin positions at, and of course, that is basically also indicating that the potential bottom could be in right now here, or we're extremely close. And of course, as long as these whales are going to be adding on towards their positions, I will be as well keep on buying my Bitcoin, because I'm basically going to be following the smart money. Because like I told you guys in yesterday's update video, where I went in depth about the history of these bitfinex whales here, we do know that they are having a high significance with the price action. Once they tend to be increasing their positions, it tends to be a bottom. Once they're decreasing their positions, they tend to be selling into strength. So yeah, definitely interesting to see here. They are most of the time right here, these bitfinex wolves. So take this in consideration. This is definitely important to look at right now here, and they're still spiking in terms of the long positions. They've seen an increasement over the past approximately 4 or 5 weeks here within 120%. What is definitely very significant to see. At the same time, I'm currently looking for this bounce on the daily time frame over here, and this will be my setup. This is the setup I'm currently taking here. I'm risking approximately 4% to get a 20% return here, because I'm looking to, of course, take a movement towards the upside for Bitcoin. Of course, what I'm currently doing here is that I'm basically taking in consideration that this previous very strong resistance zone, support zone, is going to be providing a bounce for Bitcoin again here. And of course, guys, if you do lose your perspective on the market right now, maybe start to, of course, invert the chart here, right? This is really helping me also to take shorts or longs here. Invert the chart. What is going to be happening, you think? We are having a big wick on the top side showing and indicating weakness. Bitcoin is already looking to get rejected. Are we going to be moving down further? In my opinion, yes. This is pretty likely to be coming down even further from here on. So take this in consideration. Of course, anyone, if you're interested in accumulating Bitcoin or accumulating altcoins or accumulating trades, check out Bybit in the link description, because if you're going to use my link in the description, you will be getting a $4,800 deposit bonus. And guys, if you do not use the link at all here, you will only get $400 in deposit bonus. So definitely very important to check that out here if you are interested in accumulating the dip right now, because I personally think that this is the best time to do so. I'm currently buying the dip in a faster pace never seen before, for me then at least. So let me know what you guys are doing right now. But Bitcoin pretty much bouncing from what this region is likely for me here. Then of course, really talking about that pandemic correction. If we're going to compare it, we can clearly see that we are basically recovered very quickly, right? So if we're going to take the same time scale as the pandemic correction and the pandemic recovery, we're going to be moving up in the coming 73 days with 41 to 42% here. Let's see how it's going to be playing out here. I personally think we are pretty likely on how we played out, right? So we came down massively. Look at this. First of all, we hold it up pretty well. We pumped towards the upside, came down massively, formed a few wicks on the lower side, faked out a lot of investors. Panic was, of course, ruling at that point here. Even though we were bouncing towards the upside, fear and greed was also coming down massively at that point. Why? Is because people were very uncertain about what was going to be going down on the market. Then, of course, the price action rised very strongly, and of course, it moved back up here. Personally, I'm expecting similar movements towards that upside region. Basically, for the weekly time frame on Bitcoin, I'm still accumulating, and look at the volume spikes here. Volume spikes usually tends to be indicating, especially if they're red, market bottoms and market ranges where people are standing off against a loss here. Because if I'm going to look at these ranges over here, and if I'm going to be comparing them towards the realized loss on the market, we can clearly see that realized loss is always getting formed at high volume spikes here. And realized loss if you don't know, I discuss this chart almost every single day. Why? Is because this is the one of the most important charts to look at. This is basically telling us how many people are selling their Bitcoins against a loss. And if you don't know, people have to sell their Bitcoins against a loss here for us to make a profit, because not everyone can become profitable in crypto. And that is why we do have to shake out these weekends. And that is why we do have these corrections in the market, because you can clearly see on the right side that on approximately with a 7-day moving average, we got a flush out of approximately 1.9 billion US dollars a day here. So that is absolutely high. Of course, if we are not using a moving average at all here, you can see that the spike of the realized loss already came here. You can see we are right now back towards only 300 million US dollars in realized loss here. But on the top side, we were flushing out more than 3 billion a day, right? Here we saw 3 billion a day, 1.9 billion a day, 3.3 billion a day, 2.6 billion a day, 1.5 billion a day. So many people got flushed out here, and look at how long this flush out took here. Many people are still selling against a loss for a pretty long sustainable period of time, and that is why I personally think bottoms are close. Not necessarily in, I personally think it's already in, but we're at least very close right now for a bottom here on the market. So take this with a grain of salt here, but of course do take in consideration that these charts, these on-chain data, is always going to be very important to analyze, because on-chain data is going to be telling you everything about the behavior of hodlers and what they're basically doing. And they're selling against a loss here, while price action is pretty low. Like the risk is very low, fear is high. It generally shows and creates a very good buying opportunity rather than a selling opportunity, if you would ask me here. At the same time, personally, coins you could be looking at pretty low. A lot of altcoins here on Bybit you could be buying at a very cheap valuation. Many altcoins are down 99% here. If you wish to scoop up some altcoins, make sure to use Bybit in the link in the description, where you could be buying a lot of these altcoins at. Of course, prime XBT, I'm currently in a pretty decent profit, but right now, guys, I will be talking about Luna, and I will be talking about Luna 2.0. Guys, I still don't get it why people are supporting Luna. I did a Luna stream on the channel. We were watching with 2,000 people out there, and we were literally trading on the extreme all-time high at that point. Many investors told me to be buying Luna, and I told to everyone, every single investor out there, you're probably going to get wrecked in just a matter of days. And look at how time continues. You could have been already down 60%, and of course, if you did sold the bottom, you were down 75%. So Luna crushes investors, and still it is down 99.9% from its all-time high here. So it's definitely, for me, a coin I should stay away from. And more importantly, the coin you're currently looking at will probably become worthless. And let me quickly explain why. Because Altcoin proposes a Terra hard fork to save the ecosystem. Terra Labs will put up a proposal for the government's vote on May 18th Asia time. So tomorrow, guys, there's going to be a vote on the proposal, and which proposal it is going to be this proposal, the Terra Ecosystem Revival Plan 2.0 here. And on this revival plan, we will be not having a US Terra anymore, and he is saying Terra is more than US Terra, and I disagree, because billions in dollars got lost in US Terra, and of course, yeah, Terra could be potentially getting saved without the stablecoin, but they screwed up over so many people. He was so toxic. On the depacking event, he said, oh, why are these influencers saying Terra is going to crash? Shut the fuck up, blah, blah, blah. And eventually, everyone got wrecked here. And this is absolutely garbage. I think he's doing an absolutely terrible job, in my opinion. Many investors are losing billions of dollars. Billions of dollars are getting disappeared in the market. But he is pointing out over here, Terra is more than US Terra. It has been inspiring to partake in dynamic disclosure regarding the best steps for Terra. And let me quickly go over the Terra Revival Plan 2.0 here, basically called Terra 2.0, because they're going to hard fork Terra. And let me quickly explain what is going to be happening. Motivation, first of all, Terra is more than US Terra. While USD has centered a narrative of Terra's growth story over the last year, the distribution of US Terra has led to development of one of the strongest development ecosystems in crypto. The Terra ecosystem and its community are worth preserving. Terra's app ecosystem contains hundreds of developers working on everything from DeFi to fungible labor markets, state-of-the-art infrastructure, and community experience. So yeah, pretty interesting. Let me go over the summary and then go over some other important parts about this revival plan, because this definitely, if you're a Luna holder, you have to check this out here. The summary, what will be basically happening with this revival plan. And guys, tomorrow the vote will start here. So the community will be voting if this plan goes through. And I can tell you already, if this plan goes through, the Luna price action is going to crash to probably very low digits. So please be careful if you have your money invested in Luna. Warning shot. I will be explaining about why that's going to be happening in a second from now on. Fork the Terra chain into a new chain without an algorithmic stablecoin. That is what they are planning to do. The old chain will be getting called Terra Classic. Token Luna Classic. LUNC. And add the new chain called Terra. Terra. Token Luna. So, what will be happening? Essentially the same what Ethereum did back in 2016. End of 2016, Ethereum also did a hard fork to go over towards that new chain. And what happened? The old chain got called Ethereum Classic, and the new chain got called Ethereum. So if you don't know here, this is Ethereum Classic. In the end of the day, Ethereum Classic did perform very well here. It was, yeah, in end of 2016. Ethereum got hard forked, and this is the Ethereum Classic chart here into Ethereum Classic. In the end of the day, Ethereum Classic did still a very good job here, but at that point the market capitalization was very, very, very small, and right now we're having billions of dollars getting invested in Terra Luna, right? So this is what a hard fork is here. You're going to move to a new chain, and the old coin is going to just call Luna Classic, and it's not going to do probably anything here. I don't know exactly what it's going to be doing with that coin, but let's read a little bit further. Luna, so the new token, will be getting airdropped across Luna Classic stakers. So, oh, here you can see it. If you're going to stake Luna Classic, you're going to get an airdrop of Luna. Luna Classic holders, so basically the previous Luna coin, and also previous US Terra holders and essential app developers of Terra Classic will be getting an airdrop, of course. Total value locked wallet Terra blah 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 will be getting removed of the whitelist from the airdrop, making Terra a full community owned chain here. So what they're going to do here, to make it very, very clear, they're going to remove their reserves. So right now, Terra Luna has got a reserve. Currently, it only has a reserve balance of $106 million US of the Luna Guard Foundation Guard here, but it's starting to become a DAO, basically, decentralized anonymous organization. But what you can see essentially is that we're holding billions of dollars. They were holding more than $4 billion in cryptocurrencies. Right now, they're only holding 80 to 100 million US dollars, and of course mainly their portfolio is held in AVAX, so we could be expecting some more sell pressure across AVAX since they are holding more than 70 million US dollars in AVAX. So that's pretty bad here, and maybe some sell pressure for Bitcoin, but it's only 10 million, so not all too bad here, of course. So yeah, they're going to basically start to become decentralized autonomous organization, if I read this correctly. So that's pretty interesting. Allocate a large portion of the token distribution, providing an emergency runway for existing Terra D app developers. So yeah, basically what is going to be happening is that they're going to do a hard fork. They're going to go to a new chain, and there's going to be a new coin called Luna, and the old coin is going to be Luna Classic. And probably due to that, and of course guys, I'm not saying that's going to be happening, because tomorrow they're going to be voting if it is actually going to be happening, but that could be making this coin a little bit more worthless, right? It could be, of course, start to lose a little bit more valuation. So that's of course why I have been warning you guys for. This is not good. And right now we'll be going in the very bad part about everything about this, right? It's the token distribution. So the new Luna, will be having 1 billion tokens. But how are these tokens getting distributed? And this is absolutely terrible, in my opinion, what is going to be happening. And of course, we've got reaction from other very big players in the space here, like CZ, on this token distribution as well here. And basically this whole revival plan 2.0, Luna 2.0, 25% of those tokens, so 250 million of these tokens will be going towards a community pool controlled by states and governments. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's not all too bad, actually. 1% will be going to developers. 4% is going to go to essential developers with a 4-year vesting. And if you don't know what vesting is here, in a 4-year vesting, those tokens, that 4% of the total supply will be getting unlocked in a 4-year period. That's basically what vesting means here. And of course, many of these new projects do have that, because otherwise you're going to create a lot of sell pressure, and you're not going to create any worth on an essential coin here. 35% of the tokens are going to go to the total value locked here at the pre-attack. Let me see. Also with a vesting period. So snapshot. So if you were holding Luna before, let's say Luna trading at 130 US dollars, you're going to get an 35% of that supply of course, divided by all previous Luna holders. So it's probably not going to be all too much here, and you're going to still lose a lot of money. But what the most terrible part is here is that there's once again investing on it, 4-year and 2-year. 10% of the Luna holders, so the staking, the Luna Classic holders, will be getting rewarded towards the stakers on Luna Classic, and also with a 2-year vesting. That is pretty terrible, because you're not going to get your tokens for the coming 2 years. After 2 years, all the tokens will be just starting. After 4 years, all the Luna tokens will be in circulation. In the beginning, there will be not a lot of in circulation. So it's pretty terrible, if you would ask me. You invest your money in Luna, it went to 0, and right now they're going to come with a new idea that is basically going to incentivize holders to actually hold, because they have no choice, because they're vested. It's in the smart contract. They cannot come towards the tokens. So what I think with Luna 2.0, what will be happening, and let me first of all talk about the last 25%. Last 25% of the tokens will be getting redistributed towards the US Terra holders. And of course, once again, 10% will be getting unlocked at the moment that Luna goes live here. Luna 2.0 gets live. And the other 90% will be getting vested over 2 years. So if I make a calculation, 24 months divided by 90% of the 25% divided by 250 million will be basically, you will be getting, let me say this correctly, you will be getting 10,000 tokens a month to everyone out there, and it will be getting divided by all the previous US Terra holders. So you will be getting screwed over. You will be only get a certain amount of your tokens every single month here, well, basically creates worth, they say, but at the end of the day, it creates a little bit of because they are going to add a vesting, they're going to screw you over, because there will be a lot of sell pressure over time, because people want to redistribute, they want to have their money back, and you're not going to create any worth, in my opinion. So I think it's absolutely terrible. I don't think it's a good idea. And of course, CZ was also saying, SMH, what does he mean with this? This means shake my head. He means no, this is not going to work. So I don't think it's a good one. Hopefully the voters are going to pass on this, because if the proposal is going to get declined, because you can vote on it, and if the majority says no, it's not going to happen, right? So this is just a proposal 2.0 with a hard fork. I don't think the hard fork is the right option to go with, but apparently he wants to get rid of this coin over here, the previous Luna 1.0, and he wants to be seeing a hard fork over here getting happen. So I'm not a fan of it. I don't like hard forks, and if you're invested in Luna right now, you're probably over the period, I don't know, over let's say the coming 2-4 weeks, you're probably going to lose a lot of your value. The new coin could be potentially do good here, but in the end of the day, I don't really am a huge fan of Luna right now here, because they basically crashed the whole market, because that is what I was trying to be pointing out here. We had this correction due to Luna. Luna sold over 80,000 Bitcoins in just a matter of a few hours on the market. Due to that, we had a massive correction over the whole week, whole last week here on the market. Due to that, we had high volume on the market. Due to that, we saw a huge amount of fear, huge amount of people got wrecked due to it, and of course many billions of dollars got flushed out of it, also in positions, in all kinds of sizes in cryptocurrencies, right? So I'm not a huge fan of Luna, and I'm not a huge fan of Do Kwon right now here, but he is proposing a Terra hard fork to save the ecosystem. Currently it's more to save its own baby or something, because if you had any dollars in stablecoin of Terra Luna, you were getting screwed over. And you know what is the most frustrating part all about it, is that I warned many of these investors all about it. So Luna, US Terra, sorry, the stablecoin of Luna is trading currently at 10 cents here. And I've said several times on my Twitter page, you can go back here, don't buy Luna, don't buy the stablecoin of Luna. Why? Is because a stablecoin only works if there's going to be faith. And of course, basically what we can see from this proposal already, if this proposal doesn't come through here, is that the next proposal will be the same, that the Terra US will be as well go away. So if you have any money still in Terra US, get it out. Even though you're getting 10%, 10 cents value for it, it's the best time to get it out still. We're seeing a huge run in terms of the market cap running out of Terra US. You can see it's not even valid anymore. We are seeing huge outflows of it. I just think it's absolutely terrible for all the investors that have been trying to catch this falling knife, for all the investors that thought, like I saw many people on Twitter saying, oh, buy Terra US right now here, because it's only 40 cents and it will be one US dollar again. And I mean, no, it's not going to be happening, man. I warned you guys for it. it's like a failed system, and it's probably not going to recover. And if the new coin comes out here, guys, please don't fall for the exact same joke here. It could perform very well here. Indeed, it could perform very well. But I personally am not going to be investing any of my money in the new Luna. Maybe I'm going to be investing a little bit in it. But probably for this coin as well. We have seen this rise. We have seen the fall. The market cap is way too high right now. We could literally see another 99% drop from here on. And especially, guys, especially if we're going to get the announcement that Luna is going to be hard forking. I don't really see Luna... this Luna holding up that wall here over time. Maybe for the coming 1 or 2 days, we could be seeing a minor pump towards the upside. But my expectation here is that if we're going to get a hard fork, that Luna, the Luna we're currently looking at, this Luna without the hard fork, Luna Classic, we could start to call it, will decrease massively over time. And for Luna to work, I don't know why people are still having faith in it. There has to be faith, and many faith from big investors are they stepped away from it. And that is why it probably will fail here once again. So be careful with Terra Luna. If you have invested some money in it, yes, you could do whatever you want to do, but make sure to do your research right now. Because yeah, these events where coins are dropping 99%, there's only one thing that actually happens in the market. There's only one thing that actually happens in this market. And you know what it is? It's a creation of Bitcoin maxis. And I was pointing it out yesterday on my Twitter page. Due to altcoins falling 99+% here, or even in this case 100%, and it's weird to call a coin dropped 100% because mathematically it's not possible, right? But apparently it is. So this coin dropped 100%. This is what it looks like. If you invested $1, you will probably have $0.00001 right now. But this really shows the risk of altcoins. And I am not a hater on altcoins or whatsoever. I think altcoins are definitely interesting to be investing in right now here. But be careful. If you're investing in Bitcoin, you maybe will not get that 20x here over the coming years, right? But if you're investing in many of these altcoins, you could also lose a lot of your value. And you really have to be making up your opinion right now. Do I want to be investing in many of these altcoins and take high risk here? Or do I want to be focusing on the long term where I can scale up my Bitcoins over time, where dollar cost average into Bitcoin, because I know for sure that Bitcoin is going to be trending up with time. And I know for sure that Bitcoin is at least going to give me safe returns. So I think this is a very good lesson for many people. And I still think it's terrible because many investors lost their money, and that's the last thing I would love to see, of course. But this is, of course, a big lesson. And if you have not invested any money in Luna at the top, just like me, I was not exposed to Luna. It's also a very good lesson because you have not lost anything for it. But you can clearly see that altcoins are risky, and there are many altcoins that could just fall the same pace like Luna did here. And Luna was really the reason why the market crashed so massively. If we're going to be placing let's say the 1 hour chart on Luna, right? This is the Luna chart, and we're going to be placing Bitcoin on top of it. Look what Luna, what kind of effect Luna had on the market. Luna crashed Bitcoin. Initial crash, Bitcoin crashed. Bitcoin crashed. Bitcoin crashed. You know why? It's because they were selling off their Bitcoins along the way down here. They were holding 80,000 Bitcoins. They sold off their Bitcoins. Terra Luna caused this whole big correction and a whole big carnage across the cryptocurrency space here. And that is why I don't like them. And that's why I don't like Do Kwon anymore. And that is why I'm staying away from it. Because they screwed us over. And I don't like that. And I'm definitely not a Bitcoin maxi, but I am definitely a pro Satoshi stacker. You know, I love stacking my Satoshis, right? My goal here in the cryptocurrency space is to stack as much Satoshis as I possibly can here. I personally, of course, I can't give any financial advice or whatsoever, but it is definitely one of the best things to do so right now here. But look at the Ethereum Classic also coming down pretty heavily. There's a little bit of a comparison towards how Luna could be looking here in the coming years ahead of ourselves. Of course, if you don't know what Ethereum Classic is, make sure to read some of the Wikipedia page about it. It's basically, of course, the hard fork of the previous Ethereum. So that's pretty interesting. Luna Foundation Guard is probably going to drop off even more of its tokens, its previous holdings. So what I'm expecting is could be, of course, a potential drop off across BNB, across Bitcoin still, and of course, especially across AVAX. So be careful with investing in AVAX. If we're going to look at CMC, AVAX is of course a similar type of coin, right? It's also a very big coin that could be potentially have still some issues here in the future, so please be careful with AVAX. Also, a coin I should be very careful with right now is Ventum. Look at how Ventum has been dropping very massively, and more importantly, look at Ventum, its stablecoin FUSD, Ventum USD. It's trading still on 74 cents, still below its back price here, and that's also a thing that I don't love to see here. Ventum USD could be, of course, the next big thing, the next big drop off. Of course, there's a little bit of less money circulating in Ventum, so it will be having a less big of effect on Bitcoin. But yeah, be careful with Ventum as well here. I'm not a huge fan of buying into Ventum right here, even though it's very low, right? Even though it's very low, it could be, of course, have the same failures like the ecosystem of Luna. And of course, if we're really going to talk about cryptocurrencies and altcoins where we could be investing in, we should be very picky with what we buy here, and we should be very cautious with what altcoins we're looking at. And if I'm buying altcoins, I'm going to be buying into altcoins from ventures with big cash flow, with big cash flow. So once I'm talking about big cash flows, I'm talking about coins with BNB. BNB is going to be probably one of the leading the leading blockchains in the cryptocurrency space. And I'm not promoted or anything about Binance. I don't even have you don't even work together with Binance. They are absolutely terrible in terms of their affiliateship. But this price action of BNB could literally do a 20x here. If you're looking at altcoins, if you don't like to be buying Bitcoin and you only like to be buying altcoins, buy altcoins with very high potential with low risk here. Binance has high cash flow. Binance makes tons of money, and they invested and burn also their BNB token to get more worth and more attention towards the chain, right? And they also have one of the biggest developers teams out there. So if you're looking to invest in altcoins, no financial advice, do your own research very well and look into ventures that are actually making good cash flows, right? So definitely Binance is one to look at right there. Also, Chronos making, of course, good money of their company. Only they're using their token to, of course, pay for a lot of sponsorships, what I dislike. Chainlink is, of course, getting integrated in a lot of other altcoins. Chainlink is, of course, an Oracle network that connects everything together. Very good average investment. I always say here, invest. I mean, at least how my portfolio is right now looking is that I'm 40% invested in Bitcoin. I'm 30% invested in Ethereum and 30% in low-risk altcoins like Chainlink, like Binance Coin, and, of course, like FTX as well. FTX is a very good pick in my opinion. Also having a very big drop-off in FTX here. You maybe think, oh, but let's say Ventum dropped even further, so I'm going to be buying Ventum. Yeah, you could definitely do so, but I'm rather invest in companies where I know for sure I could be making some very, very good returns on, and especially Ventum is trading at a lower price right now. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking for the right coins to be accumulating right here. I'm not going to be randomly buying into everything. At the same time, guys, we can also see that the digital euro could also come as soon as 2026, and since I live in the Netherlands, this could be, of course, have a very big effect on me. Also in 2023, we're going to get a Europe ID. I definitely think that's terrible, because also in your Europe ID, you will be having your, I can't say the word, your Rona pass. Maybe you understand me. I hope you do. Your Rona pass will be in it. I think it's terrible. The control state is growing, so that is why I invest in Bitcoin as well. So digital euro could come here, and they will be probably use blockchain technology behind it. So see that the big banks are using blockchain technology as well, and you know that the Central Bank of Europe is having one of the most largest I don't really call it a company, but is a company that, now let's say it like this, the Central Bank of Europe has so much blockchain developers, it's crazy, more than many of these other cryptocurrency projects out there. So please take this in consideration. Central Bank of Europe is working with digital euro, and they're working with blockchain technology. Don't you see the adoption? They are very silent because they don't want you to know here, but this is, of course, very important to know. And also a thing that we do know here, adoption is growing, guys. Look at this. President of El Salvador is meeting up and hosting an event with 44 countries, all financial top guys out there in El Salvador, talking about many great things here. And what they are exactly talking about is, of course, I discussed it already yesterday. They will be talking with 32 central banks, 12 financial authorities of a total of 44 countries, and they will be all meeting up in El Salvador to discuss financial inclusion, digital economy, banking, the unbanked, and Bitcoin, the rollout and its benefits in our country. So they're basically discussing, what the potential of Bitcoin could do here in the coming 3 days here. So maybe in 2 or 3 days from now on, we're going to get many statements from other big banks here, from other big countries, that they're going to start adopting Bitcoin, that they're going to start working on all these other interesting things here. But definitely El Salvador is indeed the leader in terms of the cryptocurrency adoption. And here you can see all the names of the banks and the financial authorities of these other countries. So make sure to pause it if you're very interested in that. Also do know that people were arguing, oh, but El President of El Salvador removed his laser eyes, but he just added another 4 other laser eyes with it. So he is definitely bullish on Bitcoin. He is not going to sell his Bitcoin before 100k, and of course he is currently building Bitcoin City. And I don't know, it could be taking another 10 years, guys, but we will be definitely meet up together over there. And I definitely love it, what he's doing. I definitely enjoy its work he is performing right now. So yeah, guys, pretty interesting what currently is playing out in the world. And let me, of course, guys, ask me some questions if you do have them. I had no time yet here to read the chat, but I will be right now check up on the chat and, of course, discuss some questions you guys have for me here. At the same time, guys, don't forget to smash up the like button. It will be highly appreciated because, guys, it is definitely very quiet out there. It is very quiet. I mean, I don't see a lot of many new subscribers coming in here. And again, I can tell you guys a few things about it. I mean, as content creator, you can see the growth of your channel. As content creator, you can see when the interest is there, when the interest is low. Like, just like October, right? October was so amazing. The channel grew very quickly. Why? Is because Bitcoin was trading at all-time highs. February as well, Bitcoin smashed through all-time highs, so the channel grows very quickly. Right now, it's very silent. Why? Is because there are not many people already invested and interested in cryptocurrencies right now. So make sure to use this time in your advantage, because many people are indeed in fear. And I had it with my friends. I was early today. I woke up every day on 5 o'clock, guys, to go to the gym in the morning, and with my friend and also co-founder of Cryptocurrencies, absolutely amazing company, is going to become a very big company as well out there. So please make sure to check that out here. It's going to be pretty interesting what we're currently working on. But we were just arguing, and I thought, how could people possibly sell their Bitcoins against a loss? I just don't get it. But it is actually happening, and also I see it on my channel. I don't really see growth. There are not a lot of new people coming around the corner to look and invest their time in cryptocurrencies, right? So use this time in your advantage. You guys watching right now are the OGs. You guys are definitely the OGs. So make sure to keep this, make sure to stay posted, and make sure to do your research. And how I became wealthy, and I just also, guys, bought my own apartment. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to move in from 2 weeks from now, and I'm going to start moving in here. I will be going over Ethereum as well in a second for you. I see it in the chat. And how did I secure my wealth? Because I invested all my time here back in 2017, back in 2018 and 19. I was not giving up. And that is why we are in very good stage. And someone is saying, are we near a bull market? And you know what's very interesting? Some people say, oh, bear market, it has to last for 2 years. It has to last at least for 2 years. We're in a bear market, so Bitcoin is going to trade down for 2 years. But what many people don't know is that equity markets, the shortest bear market we've ever seen in an equity market was 27 days. And that's true. There has been very short bear markets across equity markets, and we could see that as well. And we could see a decoupling from Bitcoin from classic stocks. Could be totally happening for sure. Yeah. Are we into a bull market? No, we're not even close to a bull market right now. But are we close, and are we at low risk stages for accumulating and scooping up some Bitcoin right now? Yes, for sure. I personally think yes. There are many institutions right now stepping in. We can see Warren Buffett is stepping into Bitcoin right now. That tells me already enough. And not many people are talking about it. And he's actually a hater of Bitcoin, but he is indirectly invested 1.5% of its capital in Bitcoin. Guys, do notice the biggest and greatest investor of all time that is a hater of Bitcoin indirectly invested 1.5% of its net worth in Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum for a second here. I definitely want to be going over it because, first of all, I would like to discuss the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin chart, right? So this has been an uptrend for quite a while here. Ethereum has been trading up and up and up against Bitcoin for approximately the past 400 days, if I say it correctly. No, sorry, the past 378 days. So Ethereum has been trading in an uptrend quite a while here. Is this a range where we could start to accumulate at? Yes, most definitely. But do take in consideration that altcoins can definitely fall from here on. If we're going to look at the Bitcoin dominance, there could be a possibility that Bitcoin is going to be breaking out, or it is already starting to be breaking out and is going to come up back again towards that 52% region. Also, do take in consideration, if we're going to look at the altcoin dominance, we can see that a trend that is of course pretty worrying, because this trend was lasting for an approximately 1841 days. This was a trend line that we should have always take in full consideration, right? It broke down, and of course the breakdown target for the altcoin dominance is going to be 48%, what means that the Bitcoin dominance is going to increase to 52%, what is basically also this region over here. So it does make a lot of sense to see a little bit more weakness across altcoins. If I'm zooming out across the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin chart here, you can see there is a large growth across Ethereum. Ethereum is a very, very big growing network. At the same time, we can see a huge flag, a huge potential bull flag is getting created over here. And let me stop extending this towards the right and left. But there's a very, very huge continuation pattern getting created. We are trading at that low risk range here. If you're extending this line, guys, look at this. This is a beautiful support line. We are currently looking at previous resistance. Could be flipping in new support, of course, right? So is it a good time to be buying Ethereum? I personally am a huge fan about on Ethereum right now here. It's always the leading altcoin. And also, guys, you can see it once again. Many people say Luna is the Ethereum killer. No, there is no Ethereum killer. There is Solana also. It is not the Ethereum killer. We see these hypes always. The hypes come and go. People are lifting up on the crypto hype, and many great altcoins are going to rise massively. But I can guarantee you, Ethereum, Bitcoin is going to stay the top two for at least the coming 5 to 6 years. Whether they are going to shift, we don't know yet. But I'm knowing for sure that Ethereum has got the most strongest network out there, the biggest one out there, and it has proven itself to survive in these harder times in the market. Ethereum survives market crashes, and some altcoins, they don't. We don't know what Cardano is going to do. We don't know if Cardano is going to survive the next market correction. We don't know. We just actually don't know. But we do know that Bitcoin and Ethereum are definitely going to survive, right? So Ethereum, what do we think about it? I think the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin chart is actually looking pretty interesting right now. If we look to the Ethereum compared to US dollar chart, we are creating one of the most craziest bullish divergence. And of course, guys, many people think, oh, this is not really, I'm not going to take this serious. We're in a bear market, blah, blah. But this could be having a massive effect on the market. And in hindsight, you're going to look back and say to yourself, oh, this was actually a major opportunity on the market. I wish I took it. And of course, accumulating Ethereum at an average price of 2,000 US dollars is pretty low here. If we're going to look back at history, we do know that Ethereum is rising massively over time. Yes, we are trading at risky stages because the pattern we're currently forming on Ethereum is not so good, right? We're forming a big left shoulder, a big head, and a right shoulder. This is not looking like a most favorite pattern to be buying in. But personally, I'm going to be always put my attention towards Bitcoin because Bitcoin is leading the markets, and looking to Bitcoin, making my analysis up, making the fear up, it does make up a very good average price to be buying in. And of course, since I do think that Bitcoin is a good range for accumulation, I personally will say the same for Ethereum, right? As well, at the same time, in the short term, Ethereum could do everything, right? It is forming definitely a bear flag over here. It could be breaking down. It could be come down a little bit more here. I wouldn't be surprised if we are going to be breaking down here because this chart does show a lot of weakness, but it's going to be all down to Bitcoin. And that is why I also think here the Bitcoin dominance is going to be rising because Bitcoin is stealing the show right here. So yeah, well, I said, but if you're going to be buying altcoins right now, be very picky, be very careful with what you're buying in. Only buy into altcoins you actually believe in, and don't buy towards these stupid altcoins that could be potentially do that 100x or it could do this. Make sure that you're going to be managing your risk because in these uncertain markets, that is what you should be doing here because we don't know if Bitcoin is really going to be formed, if Bitcoin really formed this bottom, right? We don't exactly know that right now, and the trend is still breaking down here. Bitcoin is still in a clear downtrend, and we could be seeing another continuation down here. So altcoins could drop massively from here on, so they are definitely more risky. So what you could be doing here, and what I think is a preferable strategy right now here is maybe wait a little bit till we're going to see a trend confirmation for Bitcoin, right? A trend reversal. And what I'm currently looking for, I think on the imminent short term, we're actually not looking all too bad for buying altcoins because I'm personally really looking for a minor bounce to the 35k region right here. I personally think that altcoins are going to be bouncing very hard with it, but let's say, guys, Bitcoin bounces back towards this higher region, right? 35k, altcoins moved up massively. This is not the time to be buying altcoins. The time to be buying altcoins is either if Bitcoin breaks above the 35k, or either if we're going to come down again and of course go back towards the 29k region, where altcoins of course had a massive flush out and Bitcoin dominance rise even further. And mainly the best price for accumulating altcoins is going to be for me just at that 48% ratio in terms of the Bitcoin against altcoin supply, right? Because that will be making you a very high. The risk to reward is way higher for altcoins at that point here. So do take this in consideration. Always calculate in the risk here. I personally think the likelihood for Bitcoin bouncing towards the upside is very big from here on. That is also why I did took this trade here on FTX. And of course, guys, FTX is pretty amazing because they currently got a $7,000 deposit bonus. I announced this trade yesterday on my Twitter page, and look at this. We're already in a pretty decent profit. Where are my fingers? Yes, here it is. If you're interested in trading on FTX here, guys, make sure to check out the link in the description here. The second highest link in the description, and you will be getting a $7,000 deposit bonus if you do use the code CryptoRover, which you can also find in the description here. $7,000 deposit bonus, and it's 7% of all you deposit. So let's say you deposit $1,000, you will be getting $70, and of course up to 7,000. So that's definitely very amazing to check out here. Prime XPT is literally having one of the most craziest deposit bonuses right now out there. So definitely want to check out here. Prime XPT is also definitely a lovely platform to use, and of course I started using it approximately 2 months ago here, and right now I am definitely in love with the platform. I could also start to be making a tutorial video about it if you guys do want that, but for now on, right now, making pretty good profits. Got a very good entry in here on this exact low right here, right? So like you can see, I bought the exact retest over here, and of course moved it up here towards these higher regions. Of course I announced this trade somewhere right here, got filled over here and moved up from that point. So actually looking pretty good for this trade right now. So looking to swing it back towards the upside here. But anyways, guys, we've been live for quite a while right now here. Hopefully you did enjoy the content. If we can reach 80.6k subscribers, it will be absolutely amazing here. Guys, only another 7 have to subscribe and we can reach that target. I hope truly we can reach it today. Anyways, guys, it was absolutely amazing stream with you guys out there once again today. If the market is going to show some very interesting things, I will be the first one out there on the whole cryptocurrency industry to jump back live here with you guys out there. And guys, there are some very amazing things coming here. I will be live streaming every single day with you guys out there. I hope you guys do like the improved content, because that is really what I'm currently focusing on. I'm trying to focus better on educational purposes on the channel. Hopefully you guys do love it. And yeah, I hope to see you guys anytime soon here once again. So guys, anyways, thank you so much for watching towards this amazing new video here on the channel. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.